guys! Today I'm going to review Bloodbath at the House of Death.
And a terrifying nightmare is about to begin. Tonight's the night for taking a bath. A bloodbath at the House of Death.
Bloodbath at the House of Death came out in 1984 and is a British comedy horror film. It stars Kenny Everett, and he was famous at the time for the Kenny Everett video show from 1978 to 1981. It was directed by Ray Cameron, who also co-wrote it with Barry Cryer, and both of them also wrote for the Kenny Everett video show. The music was by Mark London and Mike Moran. It runs 88 minutes, and there was a novelisation in 1984 by Martin Noble. The film stars Kenny Everett, Pamela Stephenson, Gareth Hunt, Cleo Rocus and Vincent Price. So in this film, some British government scientists, played by Kenny Everett and Pamela Stephenson, after stopping this mansion where 18 people had been killed overnight. So they're investigating. And this is a comedy horror film. It's kind of like a homage of different types of horror films like Carrie, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, all them type of films. But it also has the same two writers who did the Kenny Everett video show years ago, and it kind of has the same style as that show, so it's kind of like a hit and miss type of comedy. Very zany, and it's not for everyone's tastes. And there's some really surreal moments in this film. Also has Kenny Everett and Cleo Rocus who were in the Kenny Everett video show.
Hello in there, and welcome to the show. And what a...
Yeah, I couldn't bloody stand the Kenny Everett video show. I thought the bugger was soft as shit. I quite liked it, Bones. It was alright. The film has a surprisingly good cast. It even has Vincent Price. It's great to see him in it in a later type of horror film in the 80s. But unfortunately he's not in much, but the scenes that he's in are some of the funniest. He actually says piss off a few times in the film. It's really funny hearing Vincent Price say piss off.
And you tell me to piss off? You piss off. Has he gone?
Another weird character's played by Gareth Hunt. He's actually a gay character in it. Gareth Hunt's famous for the New Avengers. Hey Phil! That's that bugger out of them coffee ads! Yes, Bones, he used to shake his hand like that in the coffee commercials, shaking coffee granules.
Nescafe has that special blend and roast for that richer, smoother taste.
Hold on. All these cups are for second place.
Yeah, and I bet he was shaking more than bloody coffee beans in this film. I know what he was using his bloody hand for. Pamela Stephenson, who was famous for Not the 9 O'Clock News, she's in this film. She looks great, but she has a weird accent in this film. It's quite funny.
We're supposed to be on the A5027.
We'll keep an eye out. We'll see another sign. Or we could even stop and ask somebody.
This is stupid.
The film starts off really well, where you see these 18 people getting killed right at the beginning. And it's surprisingly a gory film, actually, for a comedy horror film. And it has that special, unique 80s look to it. A lot of 80s films were quite gory at the time. The video nasty period. So this film's sort of like taking the mickey out of them type of films, with lots of weird gore. Oddly enough, my favourite two scenes are two flashback scenes. The first one you see, it's a really weird scene where Kenny Everett used to be a surgeon. He's operating on this guy, he has a monocle, and he drops it into the cavity of the person he's operating on. And his colleagues are laughing at him, and he can't stand being laughed at. So he gets really bad tempered and starts pulling the guts out of the guy who's operating on and throwing them at them. I thought that was hilarious, saying that. The second flashback scene's a homage to Carrie, where this girl's going back home and her mother's a religious nutter, and she's imitating the character from Carrie, the mother from Carrie. There's a really gory scene where her neck gets caught in a can opener and it cuts her around her head. The head falls off. There's a strange fact about this film that it wasn't publicised much. The film was released in the United Kingdom by Thorn EMI, and it was produced in the aftermath of Kenny Everett's outburst at the Young Conservatives Conference, in which he called for the bombing of Russia. As a result of this, the media frequently referenced the film in negative context. So because of Kenny Everett's outburst, this film was put in a bad light because of that. The film's definitely not without its faults though. Although it's funny, it's mostly all the best stuff's at the beginning, the first half. And the final act's very confusing. It suddenly turns into an Invasion of the Body Snatchers type film, where there's doubles of them going to the house to kill them off. Vincent Price's character, he's not in enough. It's a shame that they got Vincent Price, but they didn't really use him enough.
And we are your... Oh, shit, my hand.
Oh, shit, my hand.
Stupid bloody candles.
Stupid bloody candles. Shut up! Stop it! Will you stop it?
Will you stop it?
Hell, how the hell did they manage to get Vincent Price to star in this bloody film? Was he bloody hard up or something? When the film was screened for the censor, James Furman, who enjoyed the film but believed the rails were played in the wrong order because of the confusion. So even the censor, he was confused with the film. He thought the rails were in the wrong order when he was watching the screening of it. So although the film's funny, it's humour that doesn't work for everyone, because humour is subjective. For what's funny for one person isn't funny for the other. But overall, I enjoyed it. I especially liked the first half. That was where all the best bits were. It also has a great cast, and anything with Vincent Price in is worth watching. But unfortunately, the ending lets the film down. It seems to run out of steam. So out of 10, I'll give this one a 7. 7 out of 10. What did you think, Bones? Did you like it? Yeah, I thought the bugger was a load of bloody rubbish. Get snout. I wish Gary had picked better bloody films to put in that box. Now, Bones, there's a lot of good films in them boxes. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review. See you next time. And subscribe and share. Bye. Bye.
I'm telling you the plot. Anyway, it's all done in the best possible taste.
You piss off.